Well, we'll kick off with the Alfa Romeo Owners Club display this year at the NEC, and this year we've got 8 fabulous cars that all wore the Quadrifolio, and we've got them right through from 1971, our earliest here, through to 2021, and the tremendous edition of the Giulia Quadrifolio, the GTAm. So starting off, we've got John Vater's fabulous 1750 GTV. That's a well-known club car that was originally brought in 1971. It's been reconditioned through the years to this fabulous state where now it's the reigning champion Alfa Romeo Owners Club Concours d'Elegance winner, and it's just in fantastic condition. The car was owned once by Richard Norris and Richard Banks at Alfaholics and Classic Alpha respectively, but subsequent to that it's had a full recondition, and one of the recent things that John's done with it is really to restore it back to original. So off came its alloy wheels and a few other factors to bring it back to how it would have been from factory, and it's looking absolutely stunning now. Moving along to the 1980s, and this is a fantastic example of the ultimate Alfa Romeo TI Saloon that belongs to Andy Bray. Fabulous condition again. This car was effectively a barn find, discovered in a Dutch barn after it had been covered for 17 years. But it's had a full repaint. Other than that, he's had to source a few replacement parts on it, but it's in just incredible condition. Just beautiful across the piece. So in 82, this is a 105 bhp version, and it's wearing its Quadrifolio badge on the C-pillar, but he's added some quite fun later series Quadrifolios on the flanks. Other than that, it's perfectly original with its red TI stitched seats. Looks just wonderful. Now, he's owned it for a long while now after the reconditioning, but it's the last time it's going to be in a UK show as he's moving out to the Dordogne. So it'll be a shame to see it go, but it's just an absolutely beautiful example of a terrific car. Okay, next up, again from the 1980s, originally from 83, it was Alfa Romeo's foray into the executive saloon market with the Alpha 90, and this is the Gold Cloverleaf edition. This is an 85 car, so one of the very last. It was far from a sales success, but it's a fascinating vehicle anyway, and one of only a handful left in the UK. In fact, we think there's only 2 registered at the moment. Rod Ashton's is in lovely condition, which is why we have it here. It's got the fuel-injected version of the fabulous 2.5 litre 12-valve Busso engine, the V6. So it goes really nicely. A few amazing features on it. It's got the original briefcase that fits in the dashboard, as all executives need, of course. And right round at the front, it has a front spoiler that lowers at speed through air pressure, I gather. It's a feature that came back on the Giulia in 2016, of course, but that was electronic. But a wonderful example, and he's kept it in super order, although it's quite a battle apparently. But it was far from a sales success, and it's although it has the Alfetta running gear, it was more like a Mark I Alpha 75, which came to replace it in 1985. So only produced for 3 years, but a fascinating thing, and by all accounts, wonderful to drive. Another features, there's no clocks in it, it's all digital instruments, which was such a thing of the 1980s, and it's a real snapshot of the 80s. A terrific thing. Okay, next up we've got an Alfa 33, the car that replaced the Alfasud in 1983, so it's celebrating its 40th birthday. This is the ultimate version. It's got a tremendously long name, an Alfa 33 S Cloverleaf Boxer Permanent 4. So it's Permanent 4 because of 4-wheel drive. So this took the Alfasud's engine, it's taken it out to 1712cc, quad cams, 16 valves, just 137 horsepower, but with 4-wheel drive it can really put the power down. This belongs to Craig Percy, who lives near Coventry. Beautiful condition. It's even got the optional Recaro seats. I remember lusting after as a lad when it came out. Tremendous thing. Okay, next up another car from 1991 like the 33. This is the 164 Quadrifolio, or Green Cloverleaf, as I think we called it in the UK. This is a well-known car in AROC, belonging to Ian Osborne from Grantham. It's a concourse, multiple concourse winner in beautiful condition. He restored it in 2003, did all the rewiring of it, did some panel repairs. He went all over Europe to source parts for it. It's got the 3-litre V6 12 valve with 200 horsepower. It drives like a beautiful machine, and I gather it was repainted in black by a Rolls-Royce technician, so it's got multiple layers of lacquer on, but looks tremendous. It's fitted with its original alloy wheels that look tiny today, but were huge at the time. The Quadrifolio version had the side skirts. This has got the optional dealer option Zender boot spoiler on it, and it's got the Recaro style seats inside as well. Of course, the 164 was one of the Type 4 cars that was a shared platform and used in the Saab 9000, the Fiat Croma and the Lancia Tamer. And but with Pininfarina styling, I think nobody can deny that the Alpha looks the best, and by a long way. Beautiful thing. Pininfarina, of course, with the design, it was familiar to thousands of 405 owners and the 605, but Alfa Romeo just carries it off beautifully, and it really took that exec saloon thing up to the stratosphere, and was a decent seller across Europe with different engine sizes. But the Quadrifolio is an absolute dream to drive. Next in the evolution of Alfa Romeo sporty hatchbacks was the Alfa 145, which was the 3-door version, and the 146, which was the 5-door. And this took the Tipo Due platform, modified it. Initially the cars had boxer engines, but in '95 the twin spark units were put in the 2-litre version with 155 horsepower. Alfa brought out the Cloverleaf version. This car was sourced in Germany by the current owner, Graham Harris's father. So it's a one family-owned vehicle, and it was used as his daily driver from 1998 through to 2015, when Graham, his son, took over, and it was recommissioned. So it's still got its original paintwork. It's in beautiful condition, and you can see how smart the thing is all round. So it's got the deeper side skirts with the proud Cloverleaf badges on the side and a Cloverleaf emblem on the boot, and these side skirt ones occasionally would be affected by the sun and turn blue, and we used to enjoy seeing the odd social media comments and forum comments about mine's a blue Cloverleaf, but no, sorry, it was just a faded badge. But a lovely car, and real delight to drive, and deservedly gained a lot of plaudits in the press about how drivable the car was. But Graham's example is a beauty. Next up's the Alfa Romeo 155 Q4, the Quadrifolio 4. Very rare left-hand drive car here. Weren't imported into the UK in this form, but a number have made it across the channel over the years. This one is essentially based on underpinnings of the Lancia Delta Integrale, with around 190 horsepower, turbocharged 2-litre and 4-wheel drive as well. Another beautiful car to drive. Alfa Romeo made this really to compete in touring car racing, and it immediately was a winner in 1993, winning the dressed as the GTAm. It won the Italian Touring Car Championship, and then moved on through various developments and different engines to win multiple saloon car championships. Notably, of course, the DTM in 1993, the British Touring Car Championship in 1994, again with a different engine, and right the way through to 1996, it was winning championships all over the place. This example belongs to Dave Atkins. It was originally for the French market. He bought it in 2016. It was in beautiful condition. He's just gone on to further improve it. Again, another car that's benefited from a respray. Other than that, it's completely original with its interior and so on. Another car, I remember having the 1800 version of this, and those 16-inch Speedline alloys looked enormous back in 1995. Not so much today, but it's a terrific car. The wedge shape's classic, and it had a really low drag coefficient in its day of 0.29. But it's a super thing. Dave loves really enjoys driving it. He's got a modern Quadrifolio as well. He gets as much fun driving this one around, and it's quite a head turner. And coming right up to date, we've got a magnificent example of the 500 off Alfa Romeo Quadrifolio GTAm. I'll use that Quadrifolio. It tends to just get called the GTAm, but it's an absolute weapon. It took Alfa Romeo's amazing Quadrifolio and turned it up to 11. This example belongs to Alan Greenhull, who's a big supporter of the club, and we're very grateful to him for bringing it along for us. The GTAm took the Quadrifolio, as I say, and turned it up to 11. The engine's tweaked to 540 horsepower. It's had so much carbon fibre on the thing. The roof, prop shaft, bonnet, all standard on a Quadrifolio in carbon fibre. On this, the front bumper's completely changed, the rear bumper, the enormous rear wing, up to 20-inch alloy wheels. It's got this incredible front spoiler that extends enormously at speed, and of course it gets rid of the rear seats. So another key thing about this, our leisure-eater, the lightness element of it, it takes 100 kilograms out of a standard Quadrifolio. So no rear seats, although it gains a rear roll cage. It's got Lexan side windows and rear window. It's got composite rear doors as well, so it's all weight saving and just an absolute dream to drive. And it was terrific to see it winning the recent Evo magazine test against the Project 8 Jaguar and the latest M3 CS. It's still just an absolute A-lister, as they called it. Tremendous vehicle, and we love seeing them. There's only about 20 in the UK. This one's dressed in the optional classic racing scheme that Alan's chosen. The thing he didn't choose was the big roundels to go on the door, but I think it just looks absolutely tremendous. And with the Arese number plate named after the home of Alfa Romeo near Milan, it's just a stunning thing. So that's it. We've got 8 tremendous cars. Alfa Romeo used Quadrifolio on a number of vehicles, but these are some really nice, some of them modern classics, some of them true classics, but a lovely variety. So if you're able to, get along to the NEC show and come and see us and come and see them up close.